Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. I don't care where you come from, what you've been through, or who told you that you ain't enough. I'm here to tell you one thing. Always believe in yourself. See, life ain't fair. It's going to knock you down. It's going to tell you no. It's going to test you. But let me ask you something. Who are you waiting on to believe in you if you don't even believe in yourself? Let me tell you a little secret. God didn't put you here to be average. You weren't created to just get by. No, you were built for greatness. But you got to see it in yourself first. Believing in yourself is the foundation of everything you will ever achieve in life. It's not just a feel-good phrase or some motivational line. It's the truth. Everything starts with belief. If you don't believe in yourself, you've already lost before you even start. The way you see yourself determines how far you'll go, how hard you'll push, and how much you'll fight for the life you want. Too many people are waiting for someone else to believe in them before they take action. They're waiting for a friend, a parent, a boss, or even a stranger to validate them, to tell them they have what it takes. But life doesn't work like that. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you confidence on a silver platter. If you want to make something of yourself, it starts with you deciding right now that you are enough, that you are capable, and that you have what it takes. People will doubt you. They'll tell you you're dreaming too big, that you're not special, that success is for other people. And if you listen to them, if you let their words sink into your mind, they'll become your reality. You have to protect your mind from negativity like your life depends on it, because it does. The way you think about yourself dictates everything. If you believe you can, you will find a way. If you believe you can't, you will find an excuse. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The first step to believing in yourself is deciding that you are worthy of success. Not because someone told you so, not because you have all the answers, but simply because you exist. You don't need permission to chase your dreams. You don't need qualifications to start working toward your goals. What you need is faith in yourself. Faith that even if you don't know how right now, you will figure it out. Think about every successful person you admire. They all have one thing in common. They believed in themselves long before anyone else did. They weren't handed confidence. They weren't born fearless. They faced rejection, they faced failure, and they kept going anyway. The difference between those who make it and those who don't isn't talent or luck. It's the ability to believe in themselves even when everything is stacked against them. You will have moments of doubt. That's human. You will have times when you feel like you're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. But that's when you have to remind yourself that those thoughts are just that, thoughts. They are not reality unless you make them real. The moment you decide to believe in yourself, everything changes. You start taking action. You start seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. You start walking differently, talking differently. It's not about arrogance. It's not about pretending you're better than anyone else. It's about knowing that you have a purpose, that you have something valuable to offer this world, and that you don't need anyone's permission to step into that. Some people will call you crazy for believing in yourself when you have no proof yet. Let them talk. Because one day, those same people will be the ones asking you how you did it. The truth is, people who don't believe in themselves will always try to bring others down. They will project their own fears onto you. They will tell you that you can't because they never did. But their limitations are not your limitations. Their fear is not your fear. Their story is not your story. Just because someone else couldn't do it doesn't mean you can't. Believing in yourself is not just about thinking positive. It's about taking action even when you don't feel ready. It's about stepping out even when you're scared. It's about pushing forward even when nobody is clapping for you. You don't need applause. You don't need approval. You just need that fire inside of you that says, I will not quit. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. People don't fail because they aren't capable. They fail because they never fully believed they could win. They gave up too soon. They let fear control them. They let other people's opinions stop them from stepping into their greatness. Don't let that be you. You owe it to yourself to try. You owe it to yourself to see what's possible. The world doesn't give opportunities to people who sit around waiting for permission. It rewards those who take risks, those who step up, those who refuse to be limited by fear. The moment you decide to believe in yourself, doors start to open. Not because the world changes, but because you change. You start showing up differently. You start speaking with more confidence. You start attracting people and opportunities that match the energy you are putting out. At the end of the day, the only person who can stop you is you. It's not your circumstances, not your past, not your mistakes. It's the story you tell yourself about what's possible. If you tell yourself you can't, you won't. But if you tell yourself you can, and you truly believe it, nothing can stop you. You were not put on this earth to be average. There is nothing ordinary about you. The fact that you are here, alive, breathing, and able to think, dream, and create means that you have purpose. You were designed with gifts and talents that nobody else has in the exact way that you do. But too many people go through life settling for less than they are capable of because they don't realize what they were built for. They let doubt, fear, and other people's opinions shrink them down. They accept less, they lower their standards, and they live small because they have convinced themselves that greatness is for other people. Greatness is not reserved for the lucky or the privileged. It is not just for those born into wealth, those with connections, or those who had an easier start in life. It is for anyone who decides to claim it. It is for the person who wakes up every day and refuses to accept a life that is beneath their potential. It is for the person who is willing to do the work, to push past fear, to keep going when it gets hard. Being great is not about where you come from. It's about where you decide to go. It's about refusing to let your past define your future. Most people never tap into their full potential because they are too afraid to fail. They let the fear of failure keep them stuck in jobs they hate, relationships that don't fulfill them, and routines that drain them. They tell themselves it's safer to stay where they are, that trying something new is too risky, that stepping into something bigger is unrealistic. But the truth is, staying small is the biggest risk of all. Living a life where you never discover what you're truly capable of, where you never chase your dreams, where you never push yourself beyond what's comfortable. That is the real failure. You have everything you need inside of you to create a life beyond anything you have imagined. The only thing standing between you and that life is the belief that it is possible for you. The mind is powerful. If you keep telling yourself that you are just average, that you are not meant for anything special, that success is for other people, then you will live out that story. But the moment you decide that you were built for more, that you were created for something greater, that you have a purpose to fulfill, that is the moment everything changes. Nobody is born with all the answers. Nobody starts off knowing exactly how they will achieve their dreams. But the people who step into greatness are the ones who take the first step, even when they don't have it all figured out. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't wait until they feel ready. They start now, right where they are with what they have. And in the process of moving forward, they grow, they learn, and they become the person who is capable of handling the success they are working toward. If you were built for greatness, then why do so many people settle for average? It's because greatness requires work, it requires discipline, it requires sacrifice, it requires pushing past discomfort and doing what most people are not willing to do. That is why not everyone will achieve it. But if you are willing to put in the effort, if you are willing to stay committed even when it gets hard, if you are willing to believe in yourself even when nobody else does, then nothing can stop you. There will be obstacles, there will be setbacks, there will be moments where you question whether you are capable of making it. That's part of the process. That's how you grow. Every challenge you face is shaping you, preparing you, and building you into the person you need to be to handle the success you are working toward. The struggles are not there to break you, they are there to build you. You have something unique to offer this world. There's a reason you have the dreams that you do. There's a reason you feel pulled towards certain goals and aspirations. That is not random, that is not coincidence. That is purpose calling you. That is your destiny trying to get your attention. But it is up to you to listen. It is up to you to take action. Nobody else can do it for you. You were built to be great. You were built to rise above challenges, to overcome obstacles, to push past limitations. But you have to believe that for yourself. You have to make the decision to step into the person you were always meant to be. There is nothing stopping you except the limits you place on yourself. The moment you remove those limits, the moment you decide to stop playing small, the moment you recognize that you were created for more, everything in your life begins to shift. Success does not belong to the smartest person in the room. It does not belong to the one with the most talent, the most resources, or the best connections. Success belongs to the person who refuses to quit. It belongs to the one who keeps going when others stop, who keeps pushing when it gets hard, who finds a way forward when the path seems blocked. The difference between people who make it and people who don't is not luck, intelligence, or even skill. It is persistence. It is the ability to keep moving forward even when everything around you is telling you to give up. Most people quit too soon. They give up at the first sign of difficulty. They take rejection as a sign to stop. They see failure as proof that they were never meant to succeed. But the people who achieve real success are the ones who see failure differently. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Every person who has ever achieved something great has failed more times than they can count. They have been told no. They have been knocked down. They have had moments where it seemed like nothing was working. But instead of quitting, they kept going. Instead of giving up, they learned from their mistakes, adjusted their approach, and kept pushing forward. The road to success is never easy. It will test you. It will challenge you. It will demand more from you than you thought you had to give. But that is exactly why so few people make it. Because most people are not willing to endure the process. They want instant results. They want things to come easily. They want the rewards without the struggle. But success does not work like that. Success requires patience, it requires resilience, it requires the ability to keep going long after the excitement has faded, long after the motivation has worn off, long after the people around you have given up. The ones who make it are not always the most talented, they are not always the most gifted, but they are the most relentless. They are the ones who are willing to show up every day and put in the work even when they don't feel like it. They are the ones who refuse to accept failure as the final answer. They are the ones who see setbacks as stepping stones, who take every challenge as an opportunity to grow. Most people underestimate what they are capable of because they have never truly pushed themselves. They have never committed to something so fully that quitting was not an option. They have never put themselves in a position where they had no choice but to succeed. But when you make that kind of commitment, when you decide that you will not stop until you reach your goal, you will be surprised at what you're capable of. You will find strength you never knew you had. You will discover resilience you did not know existed. You will push past limits you once thought were unbreakable. The problem is that too many people let temporary discomfort stop them from achieving long-term success. They let a bad day convince them to quit. They let one failure define them. They let fear dictate their decisions. But fear is not real. It is only as powerful as you allow it to be. The people who succeed are not the ones who never feel fear. They are the ones who feel it and push through anyway. They are the ones who understand that growth only happens outside of their comfort zone. They are the ones who know that nothing worth having ever comes easy. Success requires endurance. It requires the ability to keep showing up day after day, even when progress is slow. It requires the ability to trust the process, to keep planting seeds even when you don't see immediate results. Most people quit before their breakthrough happens. They stop digging just before they strike gold. They walk away right before things start to change. But the ones who keep going, the ones who refuse to quit, the ones who keep pushing forward no matter what, those are the ones who win. No matter what your dream is, no matter what goal you are chasing, the key to success is simple. Do not stop. Do not quit. Do not let frustration, fear, or failure convince you to walk away from what you truly want. There will be moments when you feel like giving up. There will be days when you wonder if it is even worth it. But those are the moments that separate the successful from the unsuccessful. Those are the moments when you must dig deep, push forward, and remind yourself why you started in the first place. Your mindset is the most powerful tool you have. It can either push you forward or hold you back. It can build you up or break you down. The way you think, the beliefs you hold, and the stories you tell yourself determine everything about your life. The biggest obstacle standing between you and your success is not your circumstances, not your background, not your resources. It is your own mind. It is the doubt, the fear, the excuses, and the limiting beliefs that convince you that you can't. If you do not take control of your mindset, it will control you. People talk themselves out of success before they even try. They look at their dreams and immediately think of all the reasons why it won't work. They convince themselves that they don't have what it takes, that they're not smart enough, not talented enough, not lucky enough. But none of that is true. The only difference between people who succeed and people who don't is what they choose to believe about themselves. If you tell yourself you can't, you won't. If you tell yourself it's too hard, it will be. If you tell yourself success is impossible, you'll never even try. But the moment you shift your mindset, the moment you replace doubt with belief, fear with faith, and excuses with action, everything changes. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you fill your mind with negativity, with self-doubt, with reasons why something won't work, then that is exactly what you will experience. But if you train your mind to focus on possibilities, on solutions, on growth, you will start to see opportunities everywhere. The way you think determines the way you act. If you believe in yourself, you will take risks. You will step out of your comfort zone. You will keep going when things get tough. But if you don't believe in yourself, you will hold back, you will hesitate, you will give up at the first sign of difficulty. Most people are not held back by their abilities, they are held back by their mindset. They allow fear to stop them before they even start. They listen to that little voice in their head that tells them they're not good enough. They let past failures define them. But failure is not a sign to stop. It is a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey. The people who succeed are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who never let failure stop them. They don't see failure as the end, they see it as feedback. They learn from it, they grow from it, and they keep going. Your mind will always find evidence to support what you believe. If you believe you are capable, you will find proof of that. If you believe you are not, you will find proof of that too. That is why it is so important to be intentional about what you tell yourself. You cannot afford to let negative thoughts take over your mind. You have to guard your mindset like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Your success, your happiness, your ability to achieve your goals all come down to what you believe about yourself. You have to reprogram your mind. You have to replace self-doubt with confidence. You have to stop focusing on what could go wrong and start focusing on what could go right. You have to stop saying, I can't, and start saying, I will. Every time doubt creeps in, you have to shut it down. Every time fear tries to hold you back, you have to push through it. Every time you feel like giving up, you have to remind yourself why you started. The world is full of people who never reach their potential because they let their mindset stop them. They let fear control their decisions. They let failure define them. They let other people's opinions shape their beliefs. But you don't have to be one of those people. You have the power to change your mindset, to take control of your thoughts, to believe in yourself even when nobody else does. You will face challenges. You will have setbacks. You will have moments when things don't go as planned. But your mindset will determine how you respond. Will you see challenges as obstacles or as opportunities? Will you let failure defeat you or teach you? Will you give up when it gets hard or push forward anyway? The answers to those questions will determine your success. Your mind is either working for you or against you. It is either pushing you closer to your goals or pulling you further away. You get to decide which one it will be. If you want success, if you want to achieve your dreams, if you want to create the life you know you are capable of, it all starts in your mind. You have to take control of your thoughts, reprogram your beliefs, and refuse to let doubt, fear, or negativity dictate your future. The people you surround yourself with have a direct impact on your success, your mindset, and your future. The energy, attitudes, and beliefs of the people around you will either lift you up or pull you down. If you are constantly around negative people, people who doubt themselves, people who make excuses, people who settle for less, then that mindset will rub off on you. You will start thinking the same way, doubting yourself, making excuses, and settling for less than you deserve. But if you surround yourself with people who are driven, who believe in themselves, who push past obstacles, who are constantly growing, then that energy will push you to do the same. Too many people let the wrong crowd keep them stuck. They stay around people who complain all the time, who never try to improve their lives, who blame everything and everyone for their problems, and because that is all they hear, they start thinking that way too. They start believing that success is impossible, that the odds are stacked against them, that there's no point in even trying. But the truth is, success is just as much about who you are around as it is about what you do. If you want to be successful, you have to be intentional about the company you keep. Take a look at the people in your life. Are they pushing you forward or are they holding you back? Are they encouraging you to dream bigger or are they telling you to be realistic? Are they motivating you to take action or are they making excuses for why things won't work? If you are the most ambitious, the most driven, the most motivated person in your circle, you should be around people who challenge you, who inspire you, who make you want to be better. Some people will not understand your vision. They will not see what you see. They will try to talk you out of your dreams, not because they don't want you to succeed, but because they can't imagine that kind of success for themselves. They are projecting their own fears, their own insecurities, their own limitations onto you. But their fears are not your fears. Their doubts are not your doubts. You cannot let someone else's small thinking limit your life. When you start chasing your dreams, some people will criticize you. They will call you crazy. They will tell you that you are wasting your time. They will try to make you feel foolish for believing in yourself. But that is only because your ambition is making them uncomfortable. Your willingness to go after something bigger is reminding them of all the times they played it safe. It is exposing their own lack of action, their own regrets, their own missed opportunity. And instead of changing their mindsets, instead of stepping up and going after something bigger themselves, they try to pull you back down to their level. You have to protect your energy. You have to be intentional about who you allow into your space. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone should have a say in your dreams. If someone is not adding to your growth, if they are constantly draining your energy, if they are always negative, always complaining, always making excuses, then you need to distance yourself. That does not mean you have to cut everyone off completely, but it does mean you need to be mindful of how much influence you allow them to have over you. If you want to succeed, you need to put yourself in rooms where success is the standard. You need to be around people who are winning, people who are leveling up, people who are thinking bigger. You need to be around people who make you uncomfortable in a good way. People who challenge you to raise your game. People who inspire you to go harder. When you are surrounded by people who are achieving great things, it forces you to level up. It forces you to think bigger, to push yourself, to demand more from yourself. The right environment will change your life. It will change the way you see yourself, the way you see your potential, the way you see your future. When you are around the right people, success feels normal. Taking risks feels normal. Pushing past fear feels normal. Growth feels normal. But when you are around the wrong people, playing small feels normal. The people you surround yourself with are shaping your mindset, your habits, your expectations, whether you realize it or not. If you want to go to the next level, you have to be willing to separate yourself from anything and anyone that is keeping you stuck. You cannot afford to stay in environments that drain you. You cannot afford to be around people who do not believe in you. You cannot afford to waste time with people who are not trying to grow. Your future is too important. Your purpose is too big. Your dreams are too valuable. You have to surround yourself with people who see the greatness in you, people who push you to become the best version of yourself, people who remind you of what you are capable of. There will never be a perfect time to start. Too many people spend their whole lives waiting. waiting for the right moment, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for everything to line up perfectly before they take action. But life does not work like that. There is no perfect time. There is no magic moment where everything suddenly becomes easy. If you keep waiting, you will be waiting forever. The people who succeed are not the ones who had everything figured out before they started. They are the ones who started before they felt ready. They took action despite their doubts, despite their fears, despite not having all the answers. Most people get stuck in the trap of overthinking. They analyze every detail, every possibility, every potential problem before they even take the first step. And in doing so, they paralyze themselves. They convince themselves that they need more time, more knowledge, more resources. They tell themselves that they will start once they have more confidence, once they feel more prepared, once the conditions are just right. But that moment never comes, because confidence does not come from thinking about doing something. It comes from doing it. Preparation does not come from waiting. It comes from taking action and learning along the way. The most successful people in the world did not wait until they were experts before they started. They were not the best when they began. They were not the most qualified, the most experienced, or the most prepared. But they had one thing that separated them from everyone else. They took action. They stepped out in faith, they figured things out as they went, and they learned from their mistakes. They understood that success is not about knowing everything from the start. It is about being willing to learn, to grow, and to adapt. The truth is, you will never feel fully ready. There will always be some level of uncertainty, some level of doubt, some reason to hesitate. But you have to push past that. You have to take action despite the fear, despite the uncertainty, despite not knowing exactly how everything will play out. Because the only way to gain clarity, the only way to build confidence, the only way to truly learn is by doing. The experience you gain from taking action will teach you more than any book, any class, or any amount of research ever could.